Hello, my name is Barry. Welcome to Christianity Explained. Today, I have an interesting topic that needs to be talked about, especially since it does impact Christian content creators, and it's definitely in the church culture department. So, what am I talking about, and how does this impact, especially some of my various friends who are in the sermon ministry and other type? Here's how. Very recently, I was getting a whole bunch of videos telling about new changes that are coming to YouTube starting February 1st. And apparently it was causing a whole lot of stress for various types of YouTubers in all kinds of areas. And unfortunately, it creates an atmosphere of fear and anxiety. And I checked, and I didn't see too many conversations in our realm, in the Christian content creator space, or the faith space. And I thought, okay, it's not like I never covered YouTube before. I have. So I thought I did some searching, and
hello everyone, Dr. Lakeisha here. Welcome to Kingdom Digital Discipleship. This is a different type of video.
Oh boy. Sorry, folks, but okay. I came across this lady, Dr. Lakeisha of some ministry called Kingdom Principle. And I appreciate I've reviewed it a couple times and appreciated some of the insight that she is going to offer. She might be a little bit different than some of your maybe accustomed, but she is on point. And I'm going to supply some insight again from listening. In fact, one of them is Nick Niven. I'm not going to show his video. Otherwise, this video will be an hour long. Now, I'm going to let Lakeisha talk, and we'll set the stage. And the key scripture she is going to be referencing is 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but rather one of power, love, and a sound mind. And yes, sound mind is key. We need not be afraid of the changes. And I got some extra input that I'm going to be sharing throughout because, well...
Hello everyone, Dr. Lakeisha here. Welcome to Kingdom Digital Discipleship. This is a different type of video that I'm sharing with you on today. I have a couple of updates for those of you, especially who are creators. You're Christians, you're believers, and you create content
And yes, this is also useful even if you're not a Christian content creator. The principle's still going to be the same.
Uploaded onto YouTube. Now, I do want to share this. There's a lot of fear going on around the internet, online, about these changes. And I know that you've seen some of these changes. And I'm going to post.
Yeah. Take a look here at what she's showing. These are some of the information that has been going on. And one thing she doesn't mention, even though this thing is supposed to start on February 1st, 2027, according to Nick Niven, there is a form that if you're in, I don't know if you're in the YouTube, the YPP partner program, or looking to get in, you have to sign the new term. It's supposed to show up and you to sign it before or by January 31st of next year.
Post them up here, and I'll put some screenshots right up on the screen. You'll probably see them, right? Check them out. A couple of the changes that's taken place, and I may highlight just some of the details as it pertains to the changes, but I want you to understand something as I'm opening up and sharing this with you. And you can share this with anyone who needs to hear this, that fear is not from God. You know that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. It's all about clarity, okay? It's all about clarity. It's all about being led by the Holy Spirit. We have to understand, too, that change is inevitable. In other words, it's going to happen. More and more changes are going to occur. So I'm not.
That is true. I don't know how long this lady was in YouTube, but from what I've seen in both the blogosphere and what I've seen in YouTube, yeah, changes happen. YouTube was radically different back in 2000, in the early days when they had it. Nick Dimon came on, and when they just started to say, okay, we want to pay, or something along that line. And over time, it kept changing. And that's not the only thing. And so it's reasonable to expect this. Now, there are some things I'm going to have to add later as it goes on.
Not here to hype you up, to scare you, to put fear inside of you, because that's not what we're here to do. But I'm here to share with you truth. I want to give you truth. So do not panic. Do not fret, okay? Do not fret at all, but just know that I'm here and I'm pressing forward despite the challenges, and I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. So what is actually going to change, and when are these changes going to take place? So let's just talk about some.
Okay. I'm going to put a break in here before she starts in. I'm guessing Lakeisha didn't know it at the time. Very recently, a couple years ago, YouTube implemented two different distinct tiers for that Christian content creators can achieve. The original tier is the one she's going to be talking about, the 4,000 watch hour and having 1,000 subscribers. That's the one you need right now to get into the YouTube partner program. However, there's another tier, which I'm shocked. I'm shocked that even Nick Nevin, a veteran, didn't even mention, but passing. So don't worry, dear. If guys like Nick miss the fan funding with the earlier one, it's okay. So what exactly is fan funding tier? That's the one I'm headed towards. That's the one that says, okay, Barry, in order to get to qualify for super thanks and stickers, things like that, and some shopping, you need to get 500 subscribers. I'm at 952 right now. And 3,000 watch hours. Oh, I have 1,500 plus right now. So, yeah. And I checked the documentation on the YouTube blog. Thank you, Nick Nimmin. And that tier is not affected by any of this. There's no report that, oh, that's going to change. So, yes. Now, why did I pick that? Because, well, I'm going to get into the problem I see with Christian YouTubers who are trying to develop a ministry like what I'm doing, or the sermon, all that. Because there's an issue that comes with advertising, which doesn't get mentioned yet. But okay, let the lady talk.
Some of these changes. So if you take a look here, Right, as of February 1st of
Yes.
2027, the first change, the first point that I'm going to share with you is that for new creators, I want to talk to, for those of you who are new, getting into the space, maybe you are thinking about becoming a content creator on YouTube. I want you to know that when it comes to monetization, meaning participating in the YouTube creator program, I want you to understand that when it comes to getting monetized, some of the rules are changing. New creators are going to need about 8,000 watch hours within a year. 8,000 watch hours within a year. It was, and it still is right now, 4,000. So if you're seeking, if one of your goals is to be monetized, you may want to go ahead and begin to have a schedule in place, get a routine in place, figure out what your audience wants, and then.
Yeah, and he does have a valid point. In order to, I had to develop a schedule for myself for what I'm able to achieve and what I'm able to do and what's suitable for me, and based on what I can. If I had to do a short channel, I would have to really be doing something to generate a short constantly because of the high volume. But with the ACE, it's a lot. And this is niche that we're in is actually a lot harder than some people think.
And give them what they need at the same time. That's my little golden nugget for you. Give your audience what they want, but also give them what they need. Package what they need around what they want, because that's how you're going to really get your true hours. And so you're still able to get monetized with the 4,000 all the way up into February 1st of 2027. But when it comes to those of you focusing on shorts, in February 2027, it's going to increase from 10 million, if you see here, 10 million to.
Okay. I feel like I need to back up a little bit. Only because he just touched on something I think it needs a little bit of talking. All right. Here's what's going on. I know for some people, they wonder, why don't you guys just teach the Bible or just share the gospel? Unfortunately, people show that they are, in order to bring in the people who may yet hear the word of God and or hear the gospel, we have to do things to draw the interest. And I'm not the only one. Keith Foskey, a wonderful gentleman who has a gift for comedy and other stuff, he uses that as an entry point for a lot of viewers. And hopefully in time, they find out about some of the teaching that he does, either on that channel or at his church, Sovereign Grace Family Church, out in Jacksonville, Florida. That's part of the problem. And same thing with my different Chris Roseborough, who people, and that's the unfortunate reality. That's why I do YouTube commentaries like this, or I do the live talk panel about some of the stuff my friends and I do there. And hopefully in the process you learn something, or maybe hear something like the gospel. And I'm trying to develop a mindset to share the gospel more. It's a lot harder because it's not something I've learned to do. And I think that's something we need to understand. I think that was her point with this. Because that's a reality we all have to face, no matter what.
7. But when it comes to those of you focusing on shorts, in February 2027, it's going to increase from 10 million, if you see here, 10 million to 20 million within 90 days. That's going to be a part of the requirement to become monetized in order for you to join the YouTube programs.
Yeah. 10 million is the current amount you need to get in. 20 million is the new level you need to get in starting February. So let's keep that part in mind.
So if you want to be a part of that, you want to make sure you get qualified with the current requirements, which is the 4,000 watch hours for those of you who are doing long form, or the 10 million for those of you doing shorts, and then also the 1,000 subscribers is what you're going to need. So that's really point number one that I want to focus in on. Now, let's dive into point number two. Point number two has a lot to do with shorts and the requirement necessary for shorts. There's a lot of changes taking place when it comes to the shorts. And so I want to make sure that I provide you with all the factual information.
Yeah. In my case, I might use short or the vertical live as a way for people to discover. And I get very little view for the long form, but it does help people to find out about my content. And it shows up on their home feed. That's how it helps. Oh, yeah. But for others, it's earning them some money.
So understand something. There are 3 short thresholds that you really need to understand. And they're all measured over 90 days.
Yep.
Okay, so the first one is 20 million qualified views to apply for YPP. Okay, 20 million. I just went over that a moment ago. Now, the second threshold would be 10 million qualified views to really earn shorts ad revenue. So for those of you who want to earn that revenue, it's going to be that 10 million qualified views that you're going to need. And then another threshold, the third one, is 1 million qualified views to truly remain in the YPP, right? The program. So creators, that includes us, those of us who are Christian content creators, if we fall below 10 million, we may still have access to other monetization opportunities, including YouTube shopping.
Yeah, she is correct. The documentations indicate that YouTube, and Nick Nimmin did touch on it in his video, that YouTube is adding other ways to earn an income. So in case you fall below a certain threshold, you can still earn something. And wait, I'm going to use this the segue into something very important, because she doesn't mention it, and Nick kind of touched on it. One of the misnomer here is this: is the idea, oh, I gotta wait till I get into the YouTube partner program. Well, according to veterans like Sean Cannell of Think Media podcast, Roberto Blake, and the guys from vidIQ, and even Nick Nimmin has touched on, is the need to diversify your income stream. So yes, I'm looking at the thanks, the super thanks, and stuff like that. That comes with the fan fund. But wait, I have what can't amount to a tip jar called Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, which I put in my regular videos description. Why? Because I know that I am not to rely, and this came from the guys I listen to, that don't rely too heavily on YPP, but also diversify. This affiliate program. I'm planning to eventually get Lagos, qualified for Lagos, because I use it. I'm not sure how or what they would like. I'd have to look into that. Somebody else could say, hey, I do tech. I think you get the idea. And I think it's important to remember, yes, a lot of us, we look at it as a minute, hey, I'm looking to serve the kingdom of God. Great. You still need to pay the bill. Okay, I use Restream to help me with doing live stream panels. I had to pay OpenAI for to use ChatGPT to help with the thumbnails and some research tools. I don't mind acknowledging it. I still have to pay certain things, and I have been keeping my thing low and cutting out things I don't need. But I have a different threshold. My friend Gary Schumacher had a different situation. He had a wife and two kids, almost grown, but the two kids. Robin Hutchinson, I recommend her channel. She had beautiful music videos. And from what I'm told, some will copyright those videos, music videos. So I dare not touch it. I think. But I think you get the idea. And I'm going to touch on another aspect a little bit later.
Brand deal incentives,
Yep.
fan funding, and other targeted programs. But for smaller creators,
I was saying thank with the brand deal. I get the logo software qualified.
This creates a sharper strategic choice. You have a decision that you really do need to make.
Yep.
Do you pursue shorts at the scale required to earn ad revenue, or do you use shorts primarily for discovery while really investing more time and resources into long form videos, live streams, and other revenue streams? And so the right answer, I can't really give you that right answer, but it really will depend on your channel.
Yeah. And the standing advice that the pros, the guys who I mentioned, have said, if you do short, you're better off creating a short channel and letting it be the dominant. But if you use shorts on your main channel, use it for discovery. Don't major in it. It'll more likely end up pointing people to your channel in the home feed, is my understanding.
So I just want you to focus in on those changes. Know that these changes are coming about. Okay, they're coming very soon in February of 2027. But then there's a third point, okay? There's a third point. Let me not forget about this, because this is the part that many people are not really talking about right now in terms of changes, and that's the YouTube, right? If you look up there, YouTube Premium Lite. Is that
YouTube Premium Lite costs $9 a month. Now, why did I sign up for it? Did you notice in all the videos I review or respond to don't have commercial? Yeah, it's because of YouTube Premium Lite. It allowed me to show the video without any problem. If I understand, according to the documentation, what this lady is saying, YouTube Premium Lite has been expanded so we have more customers, potential customers coming in and increasing the flow of income, money in there. So they have more money. So YouTube have more money to share. That's how YouTube survives on revenue share. But that's not the only one. We have to talk about the advertisers have problem, and we will in just a bit.
actually expanding. Okay, it's expanding. It's a new revenue pool. And so I want you to learn more about it. Of course, more information is going to be shared. Many people are talking about it online. You can definitely look it up as well. But those are 3 points. I want you to know new revenue opportunities coming up. There's some new requirements when it comes to shorts, as well as the long form, for those of you who are going to be doing long form videos. Now, listen, YouTube isn't targeting Christian content or Christian content creators. They're not targeting this.
In all the years I've been on YouTube, I never thought they were. I just basically had to learn, okay, what's going on? Oh, I know what she's addressing. I'll let her finish then comment.
Necessarily us. They're just raising the bar a bit. They're raising the bar because they want to make sure that people who are on YouTube, and I agree that people who are on YouTube, they're consistent and that they're really focused in on what they're doing. They're not just out here just trying to make money. The focus is not necessarily about money. They really want to provide sound, good content, entertainment, information for people who are looking for it, because we know that YouTube is a huge search engine. So the question is not whether what's happening is unfair. That's not the question. The question is, are you and I, are we building for the algorithm, or are we building for kingdom impact? Which one?
Okay. 1, YouTube needs to be remembered is a business. They are, as you said, the world's biggest video search engine. People hop on YouTube for either a reason of entertainment or help me to learn something, and this, in my case, learn something that's contained within the Word of God. Maybe give some insight as it relates to things like church hurts and other topics, or Christian perspective on politics, stuff that I covered on mine. And for others, like Drew Bloom, he does a nice job doing his thing for people who are looking for that type of content. And that is the beauty of it. But because YouTube had to change with the time, they need the creators to do that. That's why you're seeing content creators scramble to do what they got to do to compete and also get your attention. And that could be well and good, but we need to remember it's not. And because YouTube is constantly having to change and also deal with some the consequences of bright ideas. Yeah, it seemed good at the time. Yeah, until you got all the AI, let in all the AI flop, my dear YouTube. But see, that's the problem. And we have to work with what we have. So I would encourage you, if you to support Christian YouTubers as you can, as you see fit. Because guess what? Most of us do not make a staggering amount of money. She didn't cover it, but Nick did. Usually, the minimum that a YouTuber, and I'll stick with the Christian YouTuber for consistency's sake, will get is $100. When the money piles up and equals $100, then that plus more, if possible, will go to the content creator. That's how it works. So you can't depend, as Nick correctly pointed out, you can't depend on that too much, because you don't know when that comes. When it does, great, it's a help. That's why I've heard repeatedly, don't quit your day job. 1, 2, diversify. I am working on developing a consistent behavior with Substack, where I'm writing articles I already got 2 on there. And you can find the link to that in the description of the video. It had not to do it on the YouTube live thing, I should. See that, and potentially do that. Somebody else, if I was talking to Robin, I'd say, Robin, put your music video on other platforms. Don't just rely on one stream. And I think those are the things we need to do, too. And this is the part. I think I'll let her finish this part.
What is it for yourself? I know for me, it's for kingdom impact. I definitely want to fulfill what God has called me to do. And really for all of us, He's given us as believers a commission to go out and make disciples. And YouTube is a huge platform for us to be able to carry that out and really.
She is right on that. It is a huge platform, a great opportunity to share the gospel, teach truths, make disciples, do things that we could never do normally. We're not supposed to be leaving it to pastors. Oh, boy.
Do greater works, as Jesus was talking about. And so it is urgent. It is urgent that we get on a schedule, that we take action. Those of you on a fence, you got to make some decisions. What decision are you going to make? Are you going to be obedient and do what God has called you to do if you feel He's leading you to YouTube and to truly getting started? Or are you going to walk in disobedience? We got to make the wise choice here. So, are you already monetized? If you are already monetized, with all these changes, you're not going to be affected. Don't let fear make decisions for you. Now, if you're building towards monetization, you're not quite there. You didn't quite meet the requirements yet of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours for long form.
Or you could try the fan funding, which is 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. That won't change as per the current news on the YouTube blog.
Or 10 million for shorts. If you're not quite there yet, you want to definitely focus in on what things you can do to raise up that number for you in terms of your watch hours. For many, it's really easy to get 1,000 subscribers, but when it comes to watch hours, it can take a bit of time. You have to be strategic with it, especially for those of us in the Christian creator field. Now, again, be consistent with your shorts no matter what. It's all about discipline. And so if you're new and you're really just getting started, you haven't quite gotten your feet in the water just yet, so to speak, understand your purpose, okay? It's all about kingdom.
Okay. I'm going to stop here. Because the rest of this is pep talk. Yeah. Okay. I really do appreciate the information she gave. And if I remember, I'll try to put in Nick Nimon's channel because he does, and he has some great additional resources I would recommend you grabbing on there. 2, to reiterate, diversify income. Don't just settle for one platform. In fact, that was the thing that Nick Nimon was saying right at the 9-minute plus mark, that it's important not to rely on one platform. If you can, put your content on multiple places and do that because it's important. Otherwise, if something happens, guess what? I found out recently that there's a big push in Europe to get their own video search. Supposedly Daily Motion. Gee. Oh, yeah. Restream allowed me to send video there. Don't know. But that's kingdom. And there's the other thing. She was saying, do not be a prisoner of the algorithm. Okay? The algorithm was set up by men. Not Christians who wanted to be spiritual. No, but men who were trained by psychology and understood people are drawn to certain types of content. They're drawn to something that fits their need. They're drawn to excitement or, oh my God, whatever. And those are going to get it. But there's something else. I said I was going to talk about the advertising. The part that's actually very important. Why do I say that? Where do you suppose YouTube is getting the money to pay the creators? Oh, yeah, advertisers. Advertisers want their advertising to appear on what they consider safe content. They are very wary of anything that is controversial because they're afraid it will reflect. YouTube knows it. In fact, they've gone through a couple of incidents which kind of taught them, yeah, let's not do that again. Yeah. It was, and it was called the apocalypse. They had, I think, 2 or 3, I don't remember, but they had them. So YouTube wants to make sure, okay, what can we put on this channel, on that channel? Maybe not another thing, all right? That's one. 2, I have to deal with the reality that hopefully that YouTube isn't interrupting videos with what they consider appropriate. The problem is, even though I could tell them this, that hey, this what type of channel this is, what's appropriate and what's not, they also have to deal with what the viewers basically instructed the algorithm of what they want to watch or what they did. So yeah, but here's another problem, which is why I'm going for the fan fund tier. Neither Nick or this lady mentioned it, but as a Christian content creator, I may have to want to talk about certain controversial topics. All right. Advertisers don't like that because they don't. So YouTube has to literally, if I'm in the YouTube Partner Program, I know I'm going to have to be very careful about what I say. I still have to show some, but a lot more, especially if I'm dependent on income coming from them. See, that's the problem. That's why fan support. I even sent a message to YouTube. I said, if I go with the fan support, then that is a win-win situation. Because guess what? They don't have to worry about the advertisers. And I don't have to worry about, oh God, am I going to get... Yeah. Yeah, it is a bigger, much bigger deal than you might think. That's why we have to think and on this way. All right, this video has gone. That's a reasonable spot, almost 40 minutes. All right, I want to thank you for your time. Please, if you like this video, please hit the like button, share, hype if you want, and please consider subscribing. I like to do Monday Bible study on Monday, solo commentary just an announcement for those who normally follow me and hopefully stay to this end. Anthony Wade had the live stream scheduled tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern. Go support him. All right. I'm going to have to figure out what's appropriate for me to do Thursday, or maybe move it to we'll see. All right. Again, thank you for your time. Hope you have a blessed day. See ya when I see you.